My girlfriend's mom asked why we weren't engaged yet. She said, "I'm not ready to close doors. What if someone better comes along?" I was coming upstairs with groceries and heard everything through the kitchen window. My heart just stopped. 2 years together, living together for 8 months, and that's how she really felt. I quietly set the bags down outside, grabbed my keys, and drove to my buddy Mateo's place. Didn't even go inside to confront her. What was the point? Mateo listened to everything while we sat on his porch drinking beers. Then he said something that changed my perspective completely. "Dude, she just saved you from the biggest mistake of your life. Imagine if you'd proposed and found this out after the wedding." He was right. I'd been ring shopping for weeks, actually had an appointment at the jeweler that Saturday to pick out something perfect. Had the whole proposal planned out. Dinner at the restaurant where we had our first date, then a walk through the park where I'd hidden a photographer. The next morning, I went back to get my stuff. Ava was crying. Makeup streaked down her face, begging me to stay. I didn't mean it that way. Mom put me on the spot. You know how she gets with her questions. So, your real feelings only come out when you think I can't hear them. That's even worse, Ava. But her sister Seline was there too, visiting from college for spring break. She pulled me aside while Ava was in the bathroom and whispered, she said the exact same thing about her last boyfriend, Xavier, word for word. I remember because it made me sick then too. That's when it clicked. This wasn't a moment of doubt or cold feet. This was who Ava really was. Always keeping her options open, never fully committing to anything or anyone. Seline helped me load my car, even carried some boxes herself. "I'm sorry," she said. "You deserved better than this. You're a good guy. Thanks. That actually means a lot coming from you." Over the next few weeks, Seline and I started texting. Nothing romantic at first. She was just checking how I was doing, sending funny memes to cheer me up. Then she invited me to a concert when she was back in town for summer break. Ava found out through mutual friends and lost her mind. Accused Seline of stealing her man and me of using her sister for revenge. The truth was simpler. Seline was just easy to talk to, genuinely kind, and we had way more in common than Ava and I ever did. We both loved hiking, obscure indie movies, cooking elaborate Sunday dinners. Ava had always rolled her eyes at my hobbies, called them boring. Seline actually wanted to join in. 6 months later, I'm engaged to Seline. Turns out someone better really did come along, just not for Ava. The proposal was perfect. Hiking trail, where Seline and I had our first real conversation. Sunset over the valley, the whole romantic setup. She said yes before I even finished asking. Started crying happy tears immediately. Planning the engagement party was tricky. Seline wanted to invite family, but we knew Ava would cause drama. Her parents were surprisingly supportive though. Her mom actually apologized to me for that day in the kitchen. Said she always liked me better anyway. At our engagement party, everything was going great until Ava showed up uninvited. She'd driven 4 hours from her new job in Portland, still in her work clothes, looking absolutely unhinged. She marched right up to our table where we were cutting the cake and screamed, "You're both disgusting. This is sick. How could you do this to me?" The entire backyard went silent. 40 people just staring, forks halfway to their mouths. Seline just smiled, didn't even stand up, and said, "Thanks for leaving the door open, sis. Worked out perfectly for everyone." The whole room went silent for about 3 seconds. Then everyone started laughing. Even Ava's mom came over and hugged Seline, whispering, "Welcome to the family officially, sweetheart." Ava stormed out, but not before yelling that we'd ruined her life and that Seline was just the consolation prize and sloppy seconds. Seline got a weird look on her face and pulled me aside. "I need to tell you something before we go any further." That day, Ava said those things in the kitchen. I was actually there too, hiding in the pantry. My heart stopped. I recorded everything on purpose and sent it to you anonymously. I wanted you to break up with her. Before I could process this, someone gasped behind us. We turned around and Ava was standing there, having come back through the side gate, holding her phone up, recording everything Seline just confessed. I literally froze. Like, my brain just completely stopped working for a second. The music was still playing, people were still laughing and talking in the background, but all I could hear was my own heartbeat pounding in my ears. Ava's phone was pointed right at us, that little red recording light blinking like some kind of evil eye. "Did you get all that?" Ava said, her voice shaking but also like triumphant, you know? "Did everyone hear what she just said?" People started turning around. The conversations died down. I could see our guests looking confused, trying to figure out what was happening. Celine's face went completely white. She tried to grab for Ava's phone, reaching out with both hands, but Ava jumped back like she'd been practicing this move. "Don't you dare touch me," Ava screamed. "Everyone needs to hear this. My sister, my own sister, manipulated everything from the start. She destroyed my relationship, recorded me without my knowledge, and now she's playing the victim?" The crowd was murmuring now. I could hear Celine's mom gasp somewhere behind us. Her dad was making his way over, looking confused and angry. Mateo had put down his beer and was watching with his mouth literally hanging open. This whole perfect evening, this whole perfect moment, was falling apart right in front of me. "Ava, stop," I finally managed to say, but honestly my voice came out way weaker than I wanted it to. "Just stop. Stop, stop. You want me to stop when she literally admitted to sabotaging us?" Ava was crying now, but like angry crying, where the tears just made her look more intense. I knew something was off. I knew it. The way she was always around, always texting you after we broke up, always playing the supportive little sister. She planned this whole thing. Seline finally found her voice. "That's not, yes, I recorded it, but you actually said those things, Ava. Those were your words, your feelings. I didn't make you say any of that. You set me up," Ava shot back. "You knew Mom would ask that question. You probably even planted it in her head. You've always been jealous of me, always wanted what I had." I looked at Seline, really looked at her. Her hands were shaking. There were tears starting to form in her eyes. And honestly, I realized right then that I didn't actually know the full truth. Like, I'd been so caught up in this whirlwind romance, so happy to have found someone who seemed perfect, that I never really questioned how it all started. "Seline," I said quietly, "is there anything else you need to tell me?" She looked at me, and for a second I saw something in her eyes. Guilt? Fear? I couldn't tell. "Can we please just talk about this privately? Not here. Not in front of everyone." "No," Ava said, stepping closer with her phone still recording. "No more secrets. No more private conversations where you get to control the narrative. Everyone here deserves to know the truth about what kind of person you really are." Celine's dad finally reached us. What the hell is going on here? He looked at Ava's phone, then at his daughters, then at me. Someone better start explaining, right now. The party was basically over at this point. People were pretending not to stare, but totally staring. I could see some guests already gathering their stuff, probably thinking this was way too much drama for a Tuesday evening engagement party. My Aunt Carla was recording on her phone too now, because apparently that's what we do in 2024. Document every terrible moment for posterity. "I think," I said, and honestly, I was just trying to buy time to process everything. "I think we all need to just take a breath and figure this out. Ava, can you please stop recording?" "Not a chance," she said. "Fine. Then, Seline, I need you to be completely honest with me right now. No more surprises, no more reveals. What else happened that I don't know about?" Seline wiped her eyes with the back of her hand. She looked at her parents, then at Ava, then back at me. "Okay," she whispered. "Okay, fine. I'll tell you everything, but not here. I can't do this here." "You don't get to set the terms anymore," Ava said. She was practically vibrating with anger. "Tell him now, or I will." "Tell me what?" My voice came out sharper than I intended. Seline took a deep breath. "The recording, that wasn't the only thing. God, this is so hard. Okay, so, you know how you kept losing your keys last year when you were living with Ava? And how your phone would have random apps downloaded that you didn't remember getting? My stomach dropped. "What did you do, Seline?" "I had a copy of your apartment key," she admitted, not meeting my eyes. "I would come over sometimes when both of you were out. Not to steal anything or anything creepy like that. I needed to know what was going on. I was worried about you. Ava was treating you like garbage and you couldn't see it." "Oh my God," I said. The backyard was spinning a little bit. "You were in my apartment? Without permission?" "Our apartment," Ava corrected. And honestly, for once I agreed with her. She broke into our home. "That's illegal. That's actually a crime." Celine's mom made this wounded animal sound. "Seline, tell me you didn't." "I was trying to help," Seline said desperately. "I saw how sad he was, how Ava was always out with other guys, how she'd ignore his calls. Someone had to do something." "That wasn't your decision to make," I said. My hands were clenched into fists without me even realizing it. "You violated my privacy, both of our privacy. What else did you do?" There was this long, terrible silence. The music had stopped completely now. I could hear cars passing on the street, someone's dog barking a few houses over. Normal sounds for this completely abnormal situation. "I deleted some of Ava's messages from your phone," Seline finally said. "Not all of them, just the ones where she was trying to apologize or explain things. I thought if you saw her at her worst without seeing her try to make it better, you'd finally leave her." Ava let out this bitter laugh. "I knew it. I fucking knew my messages weren't sending through. You gaslit me, both of you. Made me think I was crazy." "No, just Seline, apparently," I said. I felt sick, genuinely nauseous. "I didn't know about any of this." "Didn't you, though?" Ava turned her phone toward me now. "You never thought it was weird how quickly she swooped in after we broke up? How convenient it was that my own sister was suddenly your shoulder to cry on? How she knew exactly what to say to make you forget about me?" Honestly, she had a point. I wanted to defend Seline, to defend us, but the more I thought about it, the more red flags I could see that I'd just ignored. The way Seline always seemed to know what I was thinking before I said it. How she had opinions about my relationship with Ava before we'd ever really talked about it. The weird coincidences, like her showing up at the coffee shop where I always went to work, or running into me at the gym I'd just joined. "I need to sit down," I said. Mateo appeared at my elbow with a chair. Dude, you okay? You look like you're going to pass out. I might, I admitted. I sat down hard. Can someone get me some water or something? 3 people immediately went to get water. The party was definitely over now. Guests were leaving, some coming over to say quick goodbyes, most just slipping out the gate with awkward waves. Celine's dad was on his phone, probably calling someone, maybe a lawyer. Ava was still standing there with her phone, recording everything like she was building a case. Seline sat down next to me. She tried to take my hand, but I pulled away. Don't, I said. Please just let me explain, she begged. I know it sounds bad, but I really did fall in love with you. That part was real. Everything we've had these past 6 months, that's been real. Has it though? I looked at her. Or did you just manipulate me into thinking it was real? How do I know any of this is genuine when it's all built on lies? Because I love you, she said, crying for real now. I love you, and I know I went about this the wrong way, but my intentions were good. I was trying to save you from someone who was going to keep hurting you. By hurting me yourself, I stood up. By lying to me, spying on me, breaking into my home? That's not love, Seline. That's obsession. Don't say that, she whispered. Please don't say that. Ava's mom had joined the group now. She looked devastated. Girls, what have you done? Both of you. This is just beyond what I can even process right now. Mom, I'm sorry, Seline said. I know I messed up, but Ava messed up first. She was cheating on him. I have proof of that too. My head snapped up. What? Oh, here we go, Ava said. The next manipulation. Don't listen to her. I'm not lying, Seline said. She pulled out her own phone. I have text messages. Screenshots. I'll show you. How do you have text messages? Ava asked slowly. Those are private. I may have, cloned your phone when you left it unlocked at Thanksgiving, Seline admitted. The gasps from the remaining party guests were like a chorus. This was beyond anything I could have imagined. This wasn't just complicated relationship drama. This was like criminal levels of invasion of privacy and manipulation. Okay, everyone needs to leave, Celine's dad announced. Party's over. Now. The remaining guests didn't need to be told twice. Within 5 minutes, the backyard was empty except for me, Ava, Seline, their parents, and Mateo, who refused to leave my side. I think we all need to meet tomorrow, I said slowly. Somewhere neutral, a coffee shop or something. Because right now, I'm too angry to have this conversation rationally. And I need time to process what the hell I just heard. No, Ava said. I'm done processing. I'm done with both of you. I just wanted everyone to know the truth about what kind of person she is. She stopped recording and pocketed her phone. Consider this, me getting closure. Enjoy your fake relationship built on lies and manipulation. You deserve each other. She turned to leave, but I stopped her. Ava, wait. Before you go, I need to know something. Were you actually cheating on me? She looked me dead in the eye. Yes, she said simply. I was. Twice. Once with a coworker, once with Xavier after we broke up, but before you started dating my sister. But you know what? At least I wasn't pretending to be a good person while doing it. At least I didn't play mind games and spy on you and manipulate every aspect of your life. My sins were honest ones. She walked out, leaving the rest of us standing there in the wreckage of what was supposed to be the happiest night of my life. I looked at Seline. She was still crying, mascara running down her face, engagement ring catching the outdoor lights. I need you to take that ring off, I said quietly. No, she said immediately. Please, no. We can work through this. I'll do anything. Therapy, couples counseling, whatever you need. Seline, you broke into my apartment. You hacked your sister's phone. You've been manipulating me for over a year before we even started dating. That's not something we can just therapy away. But I love you, she sobbed. Doesn't that count for anything? Honestly, I took a deep breath. Right now, I don't know. I don't know what's real and what's not. I don't know if you actually love me or if you just love the idea of winning me away from your sister. I don't know anything anymore. Mateo put his hand on my shoulder. Come on, man. Let's get out of here. You can crash at my place tonight. I nodded. I looked at Seline one more time. I'll call you in a few days. But right now, I need space. I need time to think. And I need you to not contact me until I'm ready. Can you do that? She nodded, unable to speak through her tears. I took off my engagement ring, set it on the table next to the half-eaten cake, and walked out of the backyard with Mateo. We drove in silence for a while before Mateo finally said, Dude, that was insane. Like, Jerry Springer level insane. Yeah, I said. I felt numb, empty. Yeah, it was. What are you going to do? I have no idea, I admitted. I genuinely have no idea. But as it turned out, I wouldn't have much time to figure it out. Because the next morning, I woke up to 47 missed calls and about 100 text messages. And when I finally checked them, I realized the nightmare was just beginning. The next morning, I met both sisters at a neutral coffee shop downtown. I'd barely slept, kept replaying everything in my head. Mateo had stayed up with me until like 3 a.m., helping me try to make sense of it all. I got there first, grabbed a corner table in the back where hopefully nobody would hear us. My hands were shaking as I added sugar to my coffee. I honestly didn't even want coffee, just needed something to do with my hands. Ava showed up first. She looked tired, like she'd also had a rough night. No makeup, hair in a messy bun, wearing sweatpants and an old college hoodie. Nothing like the put-together, angry woman from last night. "Hey," she said, sliding into the chair across from me. "Hey." Awkward silence. We'd loved each other once, you know? Lived together, made plans. And now we couldn't even figure out how to talk to each other. "Look," I started, but she held up her hand. "Let me go first," she said. "I need to tell you something before Seline gets here. Something I should have told you last night." My stomach tensed. "Okay, I wasn't just cheating on you twice." She looked down at her coffee cup. There were others. More than I said. And Seline, she knew about most of them. I felt like I'd been punched. What? She'd been watching you, watching us, for way longer than either of us realized. She has these text messages, right? Proof I was cheating? She's had those for over a year. She knew what I was doing and she didn't tell you. She waited, collected evidence, planned this whole thing out. Before I could respond, Seline walked in. She looked even worse than Ava, if that was possible. Her eyes were so swollen from crying I could barely see her pupils. She sat down without saying anything, just stared at the table. "I told him," Ava said flatly, "about how long you've been planning this." Celine's head snapped up. "Ava, don't know. He deserves to know the truth. All of it." Ava turned to me. "She didn't just record that one conversation. She's been recording you for over a year. Has a whole folder of voice memos, videos, pictures. She's been obsessed with you since before we even started dating." "That's not true," Seline said, but her voice was weak. "I didn't start really noticing him until you'd been together maybe 6 months. Noticing him? You literally had a shrine in your dorm room. I saw it when I visited you last year. Pictures of him on your wall, printouts of his social media posts. It was creepy as hell. I felt sick again." "Is that true, Seline?" She was crying now, silent tears just streaming down her face. "I didn't mean for it to be weird. I saw how happy you made Ava at first, and I thought, God, I wish someone would look at me the way he looks at her. And then I saw how she started treating you, and I just got so angry. You deserved better." "So, you decided you were better?" I asked. I don't know. Maybe. I just knew I couldn't stand watching her destroy someone so good. And yeah, okay, I developed feelings. Strong feelings. I started following your routine, figuring out where you went, what you liked. I know that sounds insane now, but at the time it felt like fate, you know? Like the universe was putting you in my path for a reason. "The universe wasn't putting me anywhere," I said. "You were stalking me." "I prefer to think of it as intensive research," she said weakly, attempting a joke that fell completely flat. Ava leaned forward. "Tell him about the reservations." Seline went pale. "Ava, tell him." I looked between them. "What reservations?" Seline took a shaky breath. "Your dinner reservations. The nice ones you'd make for date nights with Ava." I would call the restaurants and cancel them. Then I'd delete the confirmation emails from your phone when I had access to it. So you'd show up and they'd have no record, and Ava would get mad, and you'd fight. I stood up so fast my chair scraped loud against the floor. A few people looked over. I didn't care. "You sabotaged my relationship deliberately?" "Multiple times. I was trying to help you see who she really was," Seline said desperately. "By making me look like an idiot? By causing fights? That's not helping, Seline. That's manipulation. That's abuse." "Don't say that word," she whispered. "Why not? That's what it is. You isolated me from my girlfriend by making her think I was unreliable. You deleted her messages so we couldn't communicate. You literally broke into my home. If a guy did that to a girl, everyone would call it what it is." Seline was full-on sobbing now. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I thought I was doing the right thing." "The right thing would have been telling me she was cheating," I said, "showing me proof and letting me make my own decision, not playing puppet master with my entire life." I turned to Ava. "And you cheated on me multiple times and let your sister watch it happen. You knew she had feelings for me and you just kept hurting me anyway. You're not innocent in this either." "I never said I was," Ava replied. "I'm a terrible person. I know that. But at least I didn't pretend to be your savior while torturing you." I grabbed my coffee. "I can't do this. I can't sit here and listen to both of you justify what you did. Ava, you cheated. That's on you. Seline, you stalked and manipulated me. That's on you. And I'm done being caught in whatever sick game you two have been playing." I turned to walk out, but Seline grabbed my arm. Please don't leave. We can fix this. I can fix this." "No," I said, pulling away. "You can't. This isn't fixable." I left the coffee shop and called an Uber. My phone was already blowing up with texts from Seline, but I turned it off. I needed to think, needed to breathe, needed to figure out what the hell I was going to do next. The Uber driver asked if I was okay. I must have looked pretty rough. I told him I was fine, just a bad breakup. He said he understood and turned up the radio. Some pop song about love and heartbreak. I almost laughed. Almost. When I got back to Mateo's place, he took one look at my face and grabbed 2 beers from the fridge. "That bad, huh?" "Worse. I said. I told him everything, every single detail. The stalking, the manipulation, the recordings, all of it. He was quiet for a long time after I finished. Then he said, "Dude, I need to tell you something." My heart sank. "Please don't tell me you're about to reveal you've been secretly in love with me too." He cracked a small smile. "No, nothing like that. But, remember how I told you to leave Ava? How I was super supportive of you moving on with Seline? Yeah?" Seline kind of planted that idea in my head. She reached out to me like a week before the kitchen incident. Told me she was worried about you and Ava. Asked if I'd noticed how unhappy you seemed. At the time, I thought she was just being a good friend. But now I'm thinking she was, I don't know, setting the stage or something. I felt my chest tighten. "So she manipulated you too. Looks like it," he said quietly. "I'm sorry, man. I didn't realize. It's not your fault. I took a long drink of beer. She played all of us." My phone buzzed. I'd turned it back on to order the Uber and forgot to shut it off again. It was a message from Celine's parents, asking me to call them. I ignored it. Then another message came through. This one from Mateo's phone, so it popped up on his screen since he'd left it on the coffee table. It was from Ava. "I need to tell you something about your friend. He's not who you think he is." Mateo and I looked at each other. "What the hell is she talking about?" he asked, picking up his phone. "Call her," I said. "I want to hear this." He put it on speaker. Ava answered on the first ring. "Thanks for calling back," she said. She sounded weird, nervous maybe. "What's this about?" Mateo asked. "I'm sending you both something. Screenshots. Check your phones." My phone buzzed. I opened the message and felt the world tilt sideways. They were text messages between Mateo and Ava, recent ones. From the last 3 months, flirty ones, sexual ones, pictures I really didn't need to see of my ex-girlfriend. "You're lying," I said. "These are fake. You faked these." "They're not fake," Ava said softly. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It started right after you got engaged to Seline. He reached out to me saying he wanted to check on me, make sure I was okay after the breakup. And it just kind of happened." I looked at Mateo. He'd gone completely white. "Dude," I said. "Dude, tell me this isn't real." He couldn't meet my eyes. I didn't mean for it to happen. She was hurting, and I was trying to be there for her, and we'd both been drinking, and how long?" I cut him off. "How long has this been going on?" 3 months, Ava answered when he didn't. "Give or take. We've been meeting up once or twice a week, usually at his place." "Sorry, at the place where you've been staying." I stood up, started pacing. I genuinely thought I might throw up or punch something or both. "So let me get this straight," I said, my voice shaking. "My girlfriend's sister stalked me and manipulated my entire relationship. My girlfriend cheated on me multiple times. And my best friend has been sleeping with my ex-girlfriend in the apartment where I've been living while trying to process all of this. Did I miss anything?" Nobody answered. "I need to get out of here," I said. "I need to get away from all of you." "Where are you going to go?" Mateo asked. "I don't know. Hotel, motel, sleep in my car for all I care. Anywhere but here." I went to the guest room and started throwing my stuff into my duffel bag. Mateo followed me. "Listen, I know I fucked up, but you can't just leave like this. We need to talk about it." "Talk about what?" I spun around. "About how my best friend of 10 years has been betraying me. About how literally everyone in my life has been lying to me. What's left to talk about, Mateo?" "It didn't mean anything," he said desperately. "It was just physical. I was just trying to help her deal with everything, and it got out of hand." "Help her deal with everything? She was cheating on me. She's the reason we broke up in the first place. And you thought sleeping with her would help?" "I don't know what I thought, okay? I wasn't thinking. I was being a fucking idiot. But our friendship, man, we can't just throw that away." I zipped up my bag. "You already threw it away. The moment you started sleeping with Ava, you threw it away. And honestly, right now, I can't even look at you." I walked out of the apartment, got in my car, drove with no destination in mind, just needed to move, needed to get away. I ended up at a motel off the highway, the kind of place with flickering neon signs and questionable stains on the bedspread. But it was anonymous and cheap and far away from everyone who'd been lying to me. I lay on the bed, staring at the ceiling, and tried to figure out what the hell I was supposed to do now. My phone kept buzzing with messages. Seline, Ava, Mateo, Celine's parents, even some mutual friends who'd apparently heard about the engagement party disaster. I turned my phone off completely, just needed silence, needed to think. At some point I must have fallen asleep because I woke up to someone pounding on my door. It was dark outside, probably late. The clock said 11:47 p.m. "Go away!" I yelled. "Please, just open the door. I need to talk to you." It was Seline. "How did you find me?" "I tracked your phone. I still have the app installed from when we were dating, remember? We set it up so we could find each other if we got separated." "Right. Another thing I'd forgotten about. Another way she'd had access to my life without me even realizing it. "I'm not letting you in," I said through the door. "I'm not leaving until you do." I could hear the stubbornness in her voice. The same stubbornness that had made me fall for her in the first place. The same stubbornness that had led her to literally stalk me for over a year. I opened the door just wide enough to see her face. "You have 5 minutes. Thank you, she said, slipping inside before I could change my mind. I need to show you something that changes everything. She pulled out her phone and started scrolling through something. I've been keeping records, not just of you and Ava, but of Ava and Mateo. I've known about their affair for weeks. Of course you have, I said bitterly. Listen, I know I have no right to ask you to believe me, but this is important. I found proof that Mateo has been manipulating this whole situation too. He's the one who suggested to Ava that she tell you about their affair. He wanted to blow up your life even more. She showed me screenshots of text messages between Mateo and Ava, planning their hookups, laughing about how I had no idea. Mateo saying things like, he deserves this after choosing your sister, and let him figure it out the hard way. I felt like I was going to be sick. Why would he do this? Because he's jealous? Seline said. He's always been jealous of you. Your success, your relationships, everything. I think when you got engaged to me, it was the last straw. He wanted to destroy you. And you're just now telling me this because I was waiting for the right moment. Because I knew if I told you earlier, you wouldn't believe me. You'd think it was just me trying to manipulate you more. She sat down on the edge of the gross motel bed. But after everything that's come out today, I figured you might actually listen. I didn't know what to believe anymore. Every person in my life had lied to me. How was I supposed to trust anything anyone said? Seline, even if that's all true, it doesn't change what you did. You still stalked me. You still manipulated my entire relationship. You still broke into my apartment and deleted messages and canceled reservations. Those things happened, regardless of what Mateo did or didn't do. I know, she said quietly, and I'm not trying to excuse any of that. I needed you to see the full picture, to understand that everyone has been using you, but I'm the only one who actually loves you. That's not love, I said. What you did, that's not love. Then what is it? I thought about it for a minute. Obsession, control, possession. I don't know, but it's not love. She started crying again. So that's it? We're done? Just like that? Just like that? I repeated. Seline, nothing about this has been just like that. This has been a year-long nightmare that I was too blind to see. And yes, we're done. We were done the moment you admitted to recording Ava in the kitchen. What if I got help? What if I went to therapy, worked on my issues, proved that I could change? Maybe you should do that anyway, for yourself, but not for us, because there is no us anymore. She stood up slowly, like it hurt to move. Can I ask you one more thing? What? Did you ever really love me? Or was it always just about getting over Ava? I thought about that. Really thought about it. I don't know, I finally admitted. Maybe in the beginning it was about moving on, but somewhere along the way, yeah, I think I did love you. Or at least, I loved who I thought you were. Before I knew about all the manipulation and stalking. That version of you? Yeah, I loved her. But that version doesn't exist. She was just a character you created to make me fall for you. She does exist, Seline insisted. All of that was real. The hiking, the movies, the Sunday dinners, those were all really me. I made some bad choices to get us to that point. Some bad choices? Seline, you committed crimes. Multiple crimes. Breaking and entering. Harassment. Invasion of privacy. If I wanted to, I could go to the police right now. Her face went even paler. You wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Because despite everything, I don't want to see you in jail. I just want to move on with my life and forget this entire nightmare ever happened. She nodded, tears streaming down her face. Okay, I'll leave. But before I go, I need to tell you one more thing. About Seline. About her pregnancy. My blood ran cold. What pregnancy? Seline bit her lip. Nothing. Forget I said anything. No, you don't get to drop something like that and then take it back. What are you talking about? She hesitated, then pulled up something else on her phone. Medical records? Test results? Ava is pregnant. About 6 weeks along. She found out yesterday. I stared at the screen. The dates lined up with when she and Mateo had been seeing each other. Is it his? I don't know. Could be from before that, from one of the other guys she was seeing. But she thinks it's Mateo's based on the timing. Does he know? Not yet. She's trying to figure out what to do first. This was too much. This was way too much for any one person to handle. I sat down on the bed, head in my hands. I'm sorry, Seline said. I know this is a lot, but I thought you deserved to know. You need to leave now, I said. Please just go. She walked to the door, paused with her hand on the handle. For what it's worth, I really am sorry. For everything. I hope someday you can forgive me. Maybe someday, I said. But not today. She left, closing the door quietly behind her. I sat there in that gross motel room, surrounded by the wreckage of my life, and tried to figure out what my next move should be. My phone buzzed. Another message, this time from an unknown number. You don't know the half of it. Meet me at the diner on 5th Street tomorrow at noon. Come alone. This is important. I stared at the message. Part of me wanted to ignore it, to just pack up and leave town and never look back. But another part of me, the part that needed to know the truth no matter how much it hurt, typed back a response. Who is this? The reply came almost immediately. Someone who's been watching this whole mess unfold and thinks you need to know what really happened. Tomorrow, noon. Don't be late. I turned off my phone again and lay back on the questionable bed. Tomorrow. I deal with all of this tomorrow. Tonight, I just needed to sleep and pretend, for a few hours at least, that my life hadn't completely imploded. The next morning, I showed up at the diner 10 minutes early, ordered coffee that tasted like burnt rubber, and waited. The place was mostly empty, just a few early morning regulars reading newspapers and complaining about the weather. At exactly noon, someone slid into the booth across from me. I looked up and my jaw dropped. It was Dylan, Seline's co-worker, the guy she'd apparently slept with 3 weeks before our engagement. "Thanks for coming," he said. "I wasn't sure you would. How did you get my number?" "Seline gave it to me, before everything went down at your engagement party. She wanted me to have it just in case." "Just in case what?" "Just in case this all blew up and you needed to know the truth." He pulled out an envelope and slid it across the table. "Open it." Inside was a stack of papers. Medical records, paternity test results, messages between Seline and multiple other guys. "I don't understand," I said, scanning through the documents. "What is all this?" "Proof," Dylan said simply. "Proof that Seline has been manipulating a lot more people than just you. I'm not the only guy she slept with. There were at least 3 others that I know of, all around the same time. She's been playing us all against each other, collecting evidence, building some kind of weird documentary of her own life. I felt like I was in a nightmare. Why would she do that?" "Because she's sick," Dylan said bluntly. "And I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean she literally has mental health issues that she's not dealing with. She's a compulsive liar, possibly has some kind of personality disorder. I'm not a doctor, but I dated someone once who had borderline personality disorder, and Seline hits a lot of the same patterns." "Did you sleep with her?" I asked, even though I wasn't sure I wanted to know the answer. "Yeah," he admitted. "About a month ago. She told me she was single, that she'd just gotten out of a bad relationship. Showed me pictures of her with some guy who definitely wasn't you. Said his name was Jordan or James or something. I had no idea she was engaged until I saw the pictures from your party on social media. She told me she slept with you 3 weeks before we got engaged." "That's a lie. We hooked up once, about a month ago, and then she ghosted me, blocked my number, unfriended me on everything. I thought she'd just decided I wasn't her type or whatever. But then I started hearing things from other guys at work. Turns out she'd done the same thing to like 5 different people." I rubbed my face. "So the pregnancy, the paternity test results Seline showed me, were those real?" "As far as I know, yeah, but I'm not the father. I saw those results too. They were negative for me." "Then who?" Dylan shrugged. "Could be Mateo. Could be one of the other guys. Could be yours, honestly. Have you had a paternity test done?" "No, because I didn't even know she was pregnant until last night." "Well, you might want to get one, just to be sure." He paused. "Look, I know this is a lot. Trust me, I was just as shocked when I started putting all the pieces together, but I thought you deserved to know. Seline isn't some lovesick girl who made a few bad choices. She's been systematically manipulating multiple people for months, maybe years. And if you don't cut her off completely, she's going to keep doing it." I thought about the shrine Ava had mentioned, the recordings, the stalking. It all fit together into a picture of someone who wasn't just in love, but genuinely disturbed. "Thank you for telling me," I said. "I mean it. No problem. And hey, if you need anything else, proof for the cops or whatever, let me know. I'm keeping copies of everything." He left, and I sat there, staring at the envelope full of evidence. My coffee had gone cold. The waitress came by to ask if I wanted a refill. I said yes, even though I didn't want it. Just needed something normal to happen in this completely abnormal situation. My phone rang. It was Mateo. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. "What do you want?" "Dude, we need to talk. Like, seriously need to talk. Can you meet me?" "Why would I meet with you after everything?" "Because Ava just told me she's pregnant, and she thinks it's mine, and I'm freaking the fuck out, and you're the only person I can talk to about this." Despite everything, despite all the betrayal and lies, I felt a tiny bit of sympathy for him. "Where do you want to meet? The park? The one near your old apartment? In like an hour?" "Fine, but this better be important." "It is. Trust me." I hung up and finished my terrible coffee. One more conversation, one more piece of the puzzle. Then maybe I could start figuring out how to put my life back together. I got to the park early, sat on the same bench where Seline and I had our first real conversation. It felt like a lifetime ago, even though it had only been about 8 months. Mateo showed up looking rough, unshaven, dark circles under his eyes, wearing the same clothes from yesterday. He sat down heavily next to me. "I'm sorry," he said immediately. "I'm so fucking sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. I was just angry and hurt and..." "Hurt about what?" I interrupted. "What did you have to be hurt about?" He was quiet for a long moment. "You really don't remember, do you?" "Remember what?" "Last year, before you started dating Ava, I told you I had feelings for someone. Asked your advice on whether I should tell her." I vaguely remembered. "Yeah, okay. So? It was Ava, man. I was talking about Ava, and you knew that. I told you directly. And then a week later, you asked her out anyway." My memory came flooding back. He was right. He had told me. I'd dismissed it. Thought he was joking or that it wasn't serious. Convinced myself it didn't matter. I didn't think you were serious," I said weakly. "Well, I was. And when you two got together, it killed me. I thought I was over it. Thought I'd moved on. But when you guys broke up and then you immediately started dating her sister, it was like you were collecting them or something. Like you didn't care who you hurt, as long as you got what you wanted. That's not fair. Isn't it though? Mateo looked at me. You knew how I felt about Ava. You dated her anyway. You knew Seline was unstable. Everyone could see it. But you dated her anyway because she was convenient and made you feel better about yourself. You don't think about how your choices affect other people. And sleeping with Ava behind my back? That was what? Payback? No, maybe. I don't know. He put his head in his hands. I was drunk and angry and she was there and willing and I wanted to hurt you the way you hurt me. But now she's pregnant and everything's fucked up and I don't know what to do. Have you gotten a paternity test? Not yet. She just told me yesterday. But the timing matches up. It's probably mine. Or it could be one of the other guys she was sleeping with. He looked up sharply. What other guys? Oh, you didn't know? Yeah. Apparently Ava had quite the rotation going. I wasn't the only one she was cheating on. You probably aren't the only one she's sleeping with now. Are you serious? Dead serious. Seline told me last night. Had proof and everything. Mateo leaned back against the bench. Jesus Christ! What a mess! We sat in silence for a few minutes. The park was busy with people jogging, walking dogs, pushing strollers. Normal people living normal lives, completely unaware of the drama happening on this bench. So what are you going to do? I finally asked. About the baby? I don't know. I guess it depends on if it's actually mine. If it is, I'll step up. I'm not going to be a deadbeat dad. But man, the thought of being tied to Ava for the rest of my life? That's terrifying. Yeah, I bet. More silence. For what it's worth, Mateo said, I really am sorry. About Ava, about not telling you sooner, about all of it. You didn't deserve any of this. No, I agreed. I didn't. But neither did you deserve me dating Ava after you told me how you felt, so I guess we both screwed up. Does this mean we're okay? No, I said honestly. We're not okay. I don't know if we'll ever be okay again, but maybe eventually we can get to a place where we're civil, where we can talk without wanting to punch each other. I'll take that, he said. It's better than nothing. My phone buzzed. Text from Seline. Please call me. It's an emergency. About the baby. I showed Mateo. Should I? Probably not, he said. But you're going to anyway, aren't you? Yeah, I admitted. I am. I called her back. She answered immediately, voice panicked. Oh, thank God. I need to see you right now. Something's happened with the baby and I need to tell you something before you hear it from someone else. What is it? Not over the phone. Please, meet me at the hospital. Street Mary's. I'm in the emergency room. My heart dropped. Are you okay? Is the baby okay? Just come, please. I hung up and looked at Mateo. She's at the hospital. Want me to come with you? I thought about it. Despite everything, having backup didn't sound like a terrible idea. Yeah, let's go. We drove to Street Mary's in silence, both lost in our own thoughts. When we got to the emergency room, Seline was sitting in the waiting area, looking small and scared. When she saw us, she stood up quickly. You brought him? She said, looking at Mateo with pure hatred. He's my friend, I said. What's going on? What's the emergency? I lost it, she said quietly. The baby. I'm miscarrying. They're running tests to make sure everything's okay, but there's nothing they can do to stop it. I felt a weird mix of relief and sadness. I'm sorry. Are you, though? She looked at me with those big, sad eyes. Be honest. Are you really sorry, or are you relieved you don't have to deal with this anymore? Both, I admitted. I'm sorry you're going through this. I'm sorry you're in pain. But yeah, I'm also relieved that this particular complication is resolved. She nodded. At least you're honest. She turned to Mateo. It wasn't yours anyway. The baby. I got the paternity test results yesterday before I started bleeding. You weren't the father. Then whose was it? Mateo asked. Dylan's, she said. Not that it matters now. Wait, I said, trying to process. Dylan told me he's not the father. He showed me the test results. Seline's face went through several expressions before settling on something like resignation. I'm done lying. I'm so tired of lying. The truth is, I don't actually know whose baby it was. Could have been Dylan's, could have been Mateo's, could have been one of 3 other guys I was seeing. I just picked Dylan because he seemed the least likely to cause problems. Jesus Christ, Seline, Mateo said. How many guys were you sleeping with? Does it matter now? She looked down at her hands. I know what you all think of me. I know I'm a terrible person. I manipulated everyone, lied about everything, destroyed multiple relationships, and you know what the worst part is? I still love you. She looked at me. After everything, I still fucking love you. And I know that's sick and wrong and I need help. I know that. Then get help, I said gently. For real this time. Go to therapy. Take medication if you need it. Figure out why you do these things and work on fixing it. But do it for yourself, not for me or anyone else. Will you wait for me? She asked. While I get better? Will you give me another chance once I've worked through my issues? No, I said. I won't. I'm sorry, but I can't. What we had, what I thought we had, that's over. It has to be over. She started crying. Not the dramatic, attention-seeking crying from before, but quiet, broken sobs that actually made her seem human for the first time in days. A nurse came out and called her name. "Miss Carter, we're ready for you now." Seline stood up slowly. "I guess this is goodbye then." "Yeah," I said. "I guess it is. Take care of yourself, okay?" She nodded and walked away without looking back. Mateo and I stood there in the emergency room, watching her disappear through the double doors. "Well," Mateo said, "that was heavy." "Yeah. What are you going to do now?" I thought about it. About everything that had happened over the past few days. About Ava's betrayal and Celine's manipulation and Mateo's revenge and all the lies and hurt and damage. "I'm going to get the hell out of this town," I said. "I'm going to take some time off work, go somewhere far away, and figure out who I am when I'm not being manipulated or lied to or used. And then maybe I'll come back and start over. But right now, I just need to get away from all of this." "That sounds like a good plan," Mateo said. "And hey, for what it's worth, I hope you find what you're looking for." "Thanks. Me too." We walked out of the hospital together. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. It was actually beautiful, despite everything. Maybe that was a sign. Maybe things could be beautiful again. Eventually, I drove home, packed a bag, and booked a flight to Japan. I'd always wanted to go. Now seemed like the perfect time. As I was at the airport going through security, my phone buzzed one last time. Unknown number. "You think you know the truth? You don't know anything. Ask Ava about the night your dad died. Ask her what really happened. Then you'll understand why Seline did what she did. My dad had died 2 years ago. Heart attack. I'd been devastated, but it was sudden and there was nothing anyone could have done. Right?" I stared at the message. Part of me wanted to delete it, to board that plane and never look back. But another part of me, the part that needed to know the truth no matter how much it hurt, hesitated. I had 30 minutes before boarding. I called Ava. She answered on the third ring. "What do you want?" "Tell me about the night my dad died." Long silence. "How did you find out?" My stomach dropped. "Find out what?" "Nothing. I don't know what you're talking about." "Ava, don't lie to me. Not now. Not about this. What happened the night my dad died?" She was quiet for so long I thought she'd hung up. Then she said, very softly, "We were together that night. You and me. We'd been fighting about something stupid. I don't even remember what. You got a call from the hospital saying your dad had collapsed. You asked me to drive you because you were too upset. I said no." "You what?" "I said no. I told you I had plans, that you could call an Uber. You begged me, said you couldn't drive like that, that you needed me. And I still said no because I was supposed to meet up with Xavier and I didn't want to cancel. I felt like I couldn't breathe. You let me drive myself while I was hysterical. I could have crashed. I know, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. By the time you got to the hospital, your dad was already gone. If I'd driven you, if we'd gotten there even 5 minutes earlier, maybe you could have said goodbye. Maybe it would have been different." Did Seline know about this? She figured it out. She saw my messages with Xavier from that night, saw me lying about where I was. She confronted me about it maybe a year ago, said she'd never forgive me for what I did to you. That's when everything clicked into place. Celine's obsession, the stalking, the manipulation. She wasn't just crazy or controlling. She was trying to save me from someone who'd let me down in the worst possible moment of my life. It didn't excuse what she'd done, but it explained it. "I have to go," I said. "Wait," Ava said. "Are you going to tell anyone? About what I did?" "I don't know. Probably not. What's the point? My dad's gone either way." I hung up before she could say anything else. The boarding call for my flight came over the intercom. Last call for passengers to Tokyo. I looked at my phone, at all the missed calls and messages from Seline and Ava and Mateo and everyone else, at the wreckage of the life I'd built here. Then I turned off my phone and walked toward the gate. Someone behind me called out, "Sir, you dropped this." I turned to see a woman holding out a piece of paper. It had fallen out of my pocket. I took it, thanking her. It was the receipt from the engagement ring I'd bought for Seline, the one I'd returned to the jeweler last week. They'd given me a full refund, which I'd used to book this trip. I folded it up and put it back in my pocket. A reminder of what I'd almost done, what I'd almost committed to. As I boarded the plane, I saw one more text come through before the phone shut off completely. From Seline, "I lost the baby. It's over. I'm sorry for everything. I hope you find peace." I deleted the message without responding and took my seat. The flight attendant came by to check my seatbelt, asked if I wanted anything to drink. I said no, just closed my eyes. Make sure to click on the screen to watch another story.